The House of Windsor. Keepers of a throne, guardians of tradition, symbols of a nation's continuity.
That I have found it impossible to carry the heavy burden of responsibility.
And heirs to a legacy as fragile as the crown itself.
3 cheers for His Majesty the King! Hip hip!
Their story is one of duty, love and heartache.
I, William Arthur Philip Louis.
Take thee, Catherine Elizabeth.
Take thee, Catherine Elizabeth.
To my wedded wife.
To my wedded wife.
Roger, orange smoke now.
On the long walk in Windsor, 2 brothers who have barely spoken a word in the last couple of years.
Meet the key figures of the most famous family in the world and understand what makes them royal, but human all the same. Born on November 14th, 1948, Charles Philip Arthur George came into the world with great expectations laid upon him from the moment of his birth.
Well, Charles was born in 1947, which is obviously a time of very different expectations as to how children would behave. And so I think it's fair to say that both his parents were quite distant figures in the immediate aftermath of his growing up, and that he was close to his nanny, in fact, who he spoke his first words to than either of his parents, because they went off to Malta very shortly after he was born. And obviously you wouldn't take a young baby with you to Malta, but Prince Philip was serving out there. So there's a real sense, I think, from the outset that Prince Charles was always being treated in a certain way. I think this, if not estranged him from his parents, certainly gave him a very different kind of expectation to what it would be like for him to be a royal child.
As the eldest son of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, young Charles was destined for the throne.
He learnt the job from his mother and father. His education was always about preparing him for the day that he became king. I don't think anyone would ever imagined that he'd been Prince of Wales for as long as he was, but it's put him in a really good place of understanding the country and the world we're in today. So I think if you would say to me, is he the best man for the job, I think it's safe to say yes, he is.
Charles's education journey took him to some of the most prestigious schools in the UK. He attended Cheam and later Gordonstoun, a rugged Scottish school known for its strict discipline and outdoor challenges. Gordonstoun was hand-picked by his father, who believed the school would instill in him resilience and self-discipline. Though Charles often found his time there difficult, it laid the foundation for his personal strength and work ethic. His educational path culminated at Trinity College, Cambridge, where he made history as the first heir apparent to earn a university degree. As the Prince of Wales, Charles took on a number of royal duties from an early age, representing the monarchy both at home and abroad. He made official appearances at state functions, attended ceremonies, and engaged in charity work, gradually acclimating to the responsibilities that came with his status. His public service, however, extended far beyond the traditional ceremonial roles expected of a prince. Charles was keenly aware of the issues facing society and sought to engage with them directly, often prioritising initiatives that promoted social justice, education, and environmental sustainability. In 1971, Charles embarked on a military career, enrolling in the Royal Navy after completing a rigorous course at the Royal Naval College in Dartmouth. This decision not only represented a significant personal commitment, but also served as an important step in preparing him for future leadership. He served on various ships, including HMS Norfolk, HMS Minerva and HMS Jupiter. During this time, he was also trained as a helicopter pilot and later posted to an aircraft carrier, HMS Hermes. This time in the force and witnessing the devastating aftermaths of war firsthand, inspired the prince to embark on charitable escapades, founding a charity known as the Prince's Trust in 1976. A charity aimed at improving the lives of disadvantaged youth by providing them with opportunities for education, training and employment.
Well, what Charles has done throughout his life is, in addition to his conventional royal responsibilities, he's had a real interest in making a difference in the lives of younger people. And so the major thing he's known for is the Prince's Trust, which is this organisation which specialises in giving out funding to disadvantaged organisations and individuals and trying to make their lives better. And the thing about the Prince's Trust is that it's a brilliant idea that he's had the public persona and the ability to actually make it work. And so it's one of those things that even people who don't like the royal family and even people who have Republican sentiments would usually agree that Prince's Trust has been a force for good. And I think that what you can see in Charles is genuine desire to make things better for people. I mean, he genuinely is somebody who has said, I worry about the fate of my subjects. And I think that's true. I think he does. I mean, he doesn't always get it right, but none of us would. And I think that the Prince's Trust and Prince's Foundation are real concrete steps to actually helping people's lives.
To this day, the charity remains as one of his greatest contributions to British society, having helped over 1 million young people through education, training and employment initiatives, making it one of Charles's most significant contributions to British society. Through this initiative, Charles has not only demonstrated his commitment to social issues, but has also shown that the monarchy can play a meaningful role in addressing contemporary challenges, fostering a sense of hope and possibility for future generations. Despite his public responsibilities, Charles has always been a man of deep personal passions that reveal a multifaceted character beyond his royal duties.
King Charles's character is kind of what you see on television. The king or as prince that I knew, the character that he has is he's funny, he's down to earth, he's compassionate, he's caring. And these are things that surprised me because, again, when working for him, I didn't expect... I hoped he'd be nice, but I didn't expect him to be such a gentleman. That's how I've described him in the past before. You're an absolute gentleman. And I think some people don't realise that or maybe don't understand that, because some people say to me, oh, you know, they've seen footage of the way maybe he gets annoyed or upset or something. And I said, but I'm lucky enough to have actually known the man and to spend a lot of time with him and really get to know him like a family member. And so I know that he is a kind man.
His interests span a wide range of fields, including architecture, environmental conservation, and organic farming, reflecting a profound commitment to improving the world around him, long before sustainability became a pressing global concern.
Well, Prince Philip is somebody who was always interested in the ecology, but Prince Charles has taken it several steps further, and now that he's king, it's been quite interesting, because for years he was mocked by the media for saying things like you should talk to your trees and things like that. But now that we understand things like climate change and we're all much more aware of the environment, we can see Charles was actually decades ahead of us, because he was somebody who's always taken this stuff seriously. He's always warned about global warming, he's always warned about climate change, and now I think we can actually say, yep, you were right, you've always understood this.
Environmental issues are really important to him. Organic is important to him. His charities are really important to him. He's also very much a lover of the traditional arts. So these are things that are really important to him. And I say the environment, you know, he's always been worried. The funny thing is, people always kind of said that he was outspoken. You know, what he was saying didn't make sense, especially when it came to the environment. And now everyone says he was right. You know, with a lot of what he said, a lot of his views, he was spot on. So he is he's very much a forward thinker and almost like he understands things better. I think people realise that he does. And again, through his charities, he's able to kind of put a lot of the things he's passionate about, he's able to put those into his charities. I mean, one of the charities is traditional arts, and that is something, as I said, it's important to him. His foundation, the Prince Foundation, which was very important because at Highgrove it was a big part of what is now a huge part of Highgrove, because it runs Highgrove, and that was something he set up, again, which covers all sorts of things, including teaching young people, I suppose it could be any age, skills that maybe have been lost. And very cleverly he put Highgrove into the foundation, which is clever because it secures its future, because Highgrove was something that was very important to him. So this forward thinking is something he's very good at, and he's always done. And with his charities, I'm sure the difficult part is having to give charities up or pass them on to other family members, but he won't take that lightly, and the ones that mean a lot to him, he'll continue with.
Well, in 1990, Charles set up Dutchy Originals, which was a food brand which was designed specifically to capitalise on his interest in organic farming and sustainability. And 20 years later, he sold it to Waitrose, who've always had a close relationship with Prince Charles. And I think what you can see is that he's always understood that farming in Britain is a major industry. It's an industry that has to be sustained, it has to be given help. And while occasionally he's been criticised for Dutchy Originals being seen as slightly upper class and slightly out of reach of everyday people, what Charles would argue, and I think he's right to argue this, is that farming is something that has to have money spent on it in order to work. Organic food, sustainable organic food is more expensive because the technique's more expensive, but it's better for you. And so I think Charles has always understood this. I mean, granted, he comes from a place where he doesn't need to worry about money the way that ordinary people do. But I think, again, you can see him as a force for good in this regard.
His dedication to architecture in particular has led him to champion traditional building methods and advocate for designs that harmonise with the natural environment. He has often expressed his views on the importance of aesthetic beauty in architecture and has criticised modern developments that neglect the cultural and historical context of their surroundings. Through his Duchy of Cornwall estate, Charles took significant steps to champion organic farming methods, which helped to set a standard for sustainable agriculture. His efforts have included promoting biodiversity, using natural pest control, and minimising chemical fertilisers, demonstrating that responsible farming can yield both economic and ecological benefits. Charles's forward-thinking approach to conservation, coupled with his passion for preserving natural resources, has established him as a trailblazer in the movement toward a greener future. His commitment to these causes has earned him respect, not only within royal circles, but also among environmentalists, farmers, and policymakers worldwide. Through his advocacy, Charles has inspired many to reconsider their relationship with the planet and adopt more sustainable practices in their own lives. His vision for a more harmonious coexistence between humanity and nature continues to resonate, making him a respected voice in the ongoing dialogue about environmental stewardship and sustainability. As he navigates the complexities of modern monarchy, his personal passions serve as a guiding force, driving him to make a meaningful impact on the world and future generations. Though presenting himself in a serious manner, his efforts show that he is more than just the pomp and grandeur associated with the royals. In 1981, the world watched with bated breath as Charles married Lady Diana Spencer in a breathtaking fairy tale wedding that captivated millions across the globe.
Well, he met Lady Diana Spencer in 1977 because he'd actually been dating her elder sister Sarah for a while. When he first met Diana, she was 16, and it was an unequal relationship because she was still a girl, but there was obviously a spark between them, a spark of interest. And of course, at this stage, Charles was still seeing Camilla Shand, who later became Camilla Parker Bowles. So I think it's fair to say that on the one hand, the relationship with Diana was not necessarily an obvious love match from the beginning, but on the other hand, there was very much an interest on both sides. And she was somebody, perhaps because of her youth, who was not fazed by responsibilities that she'd have to take on if she became Princess of Wales. And so that was something that was essentially a possibility, and she matched up to a lot of expectations that the royal family had for a future Princess of Wales.
The couple had two sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, who would secure the royal lineage and become icons in their own right. However, behind the radiant facade of royal life, their marriage faced mounting difficulties and strains, exacerbated by intense media scrutiny and the pressures of royal duty. As the years passed, it became increasingly clear that their relationship was troubled, and they ultimately separated in 1992, a decision that shocked the nation. Their divorce was finalised 4 years later, marking a significant turning point not just for Charles but for the monarchy itself. The public narrative shifted dramatically during this tumultuous period, leading to a complicated relationship with the media and the public. The tragic death of Diana in 1997 left an indelible impact on both Charles and the monarchy. The nation mourned the loss of the people's princess, and her death forced Charles to confront the complex legacy of their marriage, along with the ongoing struggles of his royal role. The public's grief for Diana complicated Charles's standing within the monarchy, leading to calls for reform and change in how the royal family engaged with the public and the media. In 2005, after years of personal growth and reflection, Charles found love once more and married Camilla Parker Bowles, a relationship that had long been a subject of controversy and speculation. Their connection had begun long before his marriage to Diana, leading to a complicated narrative that followed them throughout the years, initially met with skepticism and criticism. Over time, through her dedication to charitable causes and her down-to-earth demeanour, public opinion began to soften, and Camilla was eventually embraced by the nation. This relationship reflects Charles's journey toward personal happiness and stability, a testament to his resilience in navigating the complexities of love, loss, and duty within the public eye. As they continue to work together on various philanthropic endeavours, their partnership serves as a reminder of the power of second chances and the importance of finding joy amidst the challenges of royal life. After decades as the longest-serving heir apparent in British history, Charles finally ascended to the throne following the death of his beloved mother, Queen Elizabeth II, in September of 2022.
Charles has always wanted to be king. I think it's fair to say that for decades he has been waiting to become king because he's seen this as the consummation of what he's been doing all his life. So when his mother died, he must have felt several things at the same time. The first, of course, being grief. He's lost his mother, he's had her for over 70 years. It's an extraordinary moment for anyone, no matter how old your mother is. The second feeling, I suppose, is a perverse kind of relief. It's that, right, this thing I've been waiting for forever, I now have. I can now take it on. All these things I've thought about, that I've talked about, that I've discussed, I can now do. The third, I suppose, is something quite different, almost a sense of panic. It's like, what if I'm no good? What if I can't do what I want to be doing? What if it's not possible? And I suppose that that's a very complicated reaction to a death, because most people, when they lose a parent, don't have to think about, I'm going to be king, I'm going to be X, nor do they have to feel panic about it. So I suppose that you have all the normal human emotions, and all these enormously symbolic things on top as well.
Her 70-year reign had been a cornerstone of the British monarchy, defining an era of stability, duty and tradition, during which the world saw enormous change. Now, as the new monarch, Charles faced the monumental task of not only filling the shoes of his revered mother, but also leading the monarchy through a rapidly evolving global landscape. The coronation of King Charles III on May 6, 2023, was not just a ceremonial moment steeped in history and pageantry, it was a turning point for the monarchy itself. The event, though traditional in nature, embraced modernity as well by being the very first coronation to be streamed online for the world to see. For Charles, this was not merely about ascending to the throne, but about stepping into a role for which he had prepared his entire life.
I thought it was lovely how he greeted the crowds outside Buckingham Palace. But then what was really poignant was actually then seeing the new king, Queen Consort, turn round and walk into the palace. And it was so extraordinary. How many times do we watch the Queen and Prince Philip go through those gates and into the palace? I want to say hundreds of thousands of times, where here the new king and Queen Consort walked in, and there was something really special about it. It was sad, it was happy, it was all sorts of emotions. But the other thing I remember kind of thinking, these two small figures, with the weight of the world kind of on their shoulder, well, the centre of the country on their shoulders now. It was such an interesting moment.
The weight of modern public expectations was considerable, with growing calls for the monarchy to reflect the values of today's society, while remaining a stabilising force for the nation and the Commonwealth. In his first public addresses as king, Charles emphasised his unwavering commitment to service, unity, and the evolving role of the monarchy in the 21st century. He acknowledged the profound changes taking place in society, from political shifts to technological advancements, and signalled his intention to steer the monarchy through these transformations while maintaining its core traditions. Charles recognised that in order to remain relevant, the monarchy would need to listen, adapt, and engage with contemporary issues in meaningful ways. While his reign began in the shadow of his mother's legacy, Charles sought to define his own path, not by dismantling the past, but by building upon it. His focus on continuity was clear. He expressed deep respect for the institutions, customs, and values upheld by Queen Elizabeth II, but he also aimed to infuse the monarchy with a forward-looking spirit. As King Charles III, he took on the profound challenge of leading the British monarchy into an uncertain future, where the demands of modern governance, the importance of global diplomacy, and the needs of a diverse population must all coexist. His reign began with a strong emphasis on the enduring nature of royal service, but also on the imperative for the monarchy to reflect and embrace the realities of a rapidly changing world. King Charles III faces the challenge of guiding the monarchy through an era of rapid social and political change. His advocacy for the environment, youth empowerment, and social cohesion reflects his vision for a monarchy that evolves with the times. Charles continues to emphasize the importance of preserving cultural heritage while embracing a forward-thinking approach. His reign may just prove to be a delicate balancing act between tradition and progress. And so as he steps into his role as monarch, his journey from a young prince to a modern king reminds us of the evolving nature of royalty. Though the world around him has changed, his sense of duty and commitment to service remains unwavering. And although the legacy of his late mother will forever overshadow his efforts, King Charles III nevertheless sheds light on current affairs and carves a path to the future. Long live the King.